Good morning from the Lebanon Senior Center. This is Rebecca over at the Lebanon Senior Center, and we're bringing you another cooking demo. For the month of September, we are celebrating the Garden Bounty. All of our gardeners have a lot of produce coming available. Willamette Valley is a great place to be gardening, especially this time of year. We're hearing a lot of things that people are having excess of. Of course, one of those traditional things in our area that people always seem to have a lot of is zucchini. Zucchini is a great squash. You can do a lot of different things with it. Today, we're having breakfast. Yeah, we're putting veggies in breakfast, folks, and I don't mean we're making an omelet. We are actually going to be making zucchini bread waffles. You heard it right. So we are going to be making something that's very similar to a zucchini bread batter, except instead of cooking it in a pan in the oven, it's going in the waffle maker. And that is over my shoulder, heating up on the counter back there. So to start off, you do need to grate some zucchini. So we grated about 2 cups worth of zucchini into our bowl, and the recipe asked us to add in 2 carrots. So we found 2 big carrots, and we added those in there as well. All those vitamins and minerals waiting to happen in our bowl. So we're going to set that bowl off to the side. Bring our next bowl into play. So we need to put together our dry ingredients. Of course, now I'm looking around the table going, where did I just put the measuring cup? Evidently, I ate it. That's okay. I can do the math. So we need 3 cups of flour. This is a ½ cup measuring cup for this little bag. So you're going to see me do 6 cups. It's really 3 because I'm using the ½ cup measuring cup. So I haven't lost my mind. Well, more than usual. I do know how to count. Just a different size measuring cup. 4. Of course, trying to hold the bag and scoop from it at the same time has a lot to be desired. All right. There we go. We've got our 3 cups of flour out of this itsy bitsy little bag. There we go. 3 cups of flour. We are also going to be adding in 4 teaspoons of baking powder. So one of the odd times you'll see me measuring everything pretty much, because when you're more in the realm of baking than cooking, it all matters. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we've got our baking powder in there. Now we get to add some spices here. We need a teaspoon, was it right? Teaspoon of ground cinnamon. Or if you're like me, you like a little more. I did use a measuring spoon. I just made it a fat measuring spoonful. Teaspoon and a ½ teaspoon of nutmeg. Maybe if I can get it open. There we go. So ½ teaspoon of nutmeg, whole teaspoon of cinnamon. Oh man, it's starting to smell like fall in here. Smells so good. All right, so the flour, the baking powder, cinnamon, nutmeg. We need ½ teaspoon of salt. There we go. All right, I'm going to give these a quick, I say quick and then I try to drag that whisk across the table. Just stirring these together a little bit here to make sure that baking powder gets blended all the way through and the spices get all the way through and don't just get stuck on one person's waffle. All right, so then to our grated carrots and zucchini, we are supposed to incorporate our dry ingredients here. There we go. And I love what the directions say. Then toss with the zucchini and carrots to coat them. You know, I really wish I could sit here and get wild, but I don't want to have to clean up after it. Just wanted to toss them up into the air, but we'll be a little bit more controlled. So we're just going to make sure we get some of that flour mixture. You do kind of have to break up the zucchini and the carrots. They do want to clump a little bit. Of course, I also forgot to tell you the tip. When you've grated the zucchini, it's recommended that you squeeze the water out. So make sure you've got a couple of paper towels handy, a cheesecloth, a thin kitchen towel, one that you don't mind maybe staining green. I'm not saying I have learned that from experience or anything, but you can grate your zucchini onto that paper product, and then you just kind of wring it out, get some of that moisture out of the zucchini. Zucchini are, I think it's like 90%, 95% water. So you just want to make sure that your mixture doesn't get all watered down with all the excess water. The zucchini will leach out after it's grated. So there we go. We tossed our carrots and zucchini with our flour mixture. And now bringing that extra bowl back over, and we're going to switch to our wet ingredients. I'm going to try to do it in this bowl. There we go. So we have 4 tablespoons of butter already melted here. So this is what's in the bowl already, 4 tablespoons of butter. To that, we are going to add, oh, I'm hiding them. We need to put 3 eggs in here. And of course I do mean cracked eggs, so don't just drop a whole egg in there. 1. Maybe I'll put the one I already cracked, bringing it to the senior center from the store. That would be a good egg to use. 2. Maybe 3. There we go. A quick check. And magical, it looks like I managed to avoid getting any shells in there. Feeling really special about that right now. I'm going to push the rest of our eggs off to the side. Use our little whisk here. I want to break up. We'll do some more mixing together in just a minute. I just wanted to break up the eggs a bit just to make sure they get broken up really well. All right, and so then we need 2½ cups of buttermilk. If you're not a big buttermilk user, you can, I've seen powdered buttermilk. So there is another option for a way to do buttermilk if you don't want to buy a carton that you don't think you're going to use. So then when you're baking with it, you can just bake what you need. All right, 2 cups. And we need another ½ cup. I feel like a bartender, a long pour. Ooh, it might hold just almost the perfect amount. All right, and then we need a tablespoon of vanilla extract. I feel like one of these is a 2 tablespoons, not just a 1 tablespoon. There we go, our vanilla. I feel like we missed something. Oh, the sugar. All right, this is where I have to start stirring carefully. I knew we were going to cut it close. Carefully, carefully. All right, there's our 4th cup. We need a 4th cup of sugar. And if, again, the recipe will be in the notes below, so don't panic if you're thinking, what did she say? We will help you out. We will make sure we add that in there. This is where it differs from your regular zucchini bread recipe a little bit. Not as much sugar as you normally would put into zucchini bread, but that's because we have this beautiful syrup frosting. They call it a syrup. To me, it sounds like a liquefied frosting that will go over the top of our waffles when we're ready to eat them. So getting 2 recipes today for that. Oh, I'm being ever so careful as I can be, incorporating that sugar into this bowl of buttermilk, eggs, butter all melted, and our vanilla. All right, when that gets all mixed up, I'm going to slide our big bowl really close. Oh, didn't spill any. Look at me go. All right. And of course, we're going to scrape down the bowl. Make sure we get all of our wet ingredients incorporated in there. Perfect. Yeah, I think I'm going to want the spoon more than the whisk for this. There we go. All right, so then we're just going to mix. Let's take just a little bit of elbow grease because the carrots and zucchini, definitely want to clump together a little bit, but mixing that flour in ahead of time has helped keep them from just becoming one big solid brick of vegetation. There we go. And as you pour the wet ingredients in, it can make, a sudden adhered ball of vegetables here. Because of course the wetness just really makes the initial outer coating of flour just turn into a glue. But if you just break up that ball a little bit, it comes together pretty well, pretty quickly. All right, and with a couple stirs, you can see that our mixture has turned into a nice batter. I'm just scraping the bottom of the bowl to make sure any remaining dry ingredients have gotten incorporated in. All right, so we're going to set those up to the side. Use my towel to wipe off my fingers. We're going to bring back a bowl. So this bowl is going to be our bowl that we do our frosting in, or our syrup in. So we need to start with 8 ounces of cream cheese. Sorry guys, I put it all the way across the table. Bring some things closer to me here. There we go. So our 8 ounces of cream cheese. Danger. Love the cream cheese. Of course, I just realized I used my big spoon for the meal. So we're going to do the squeeze the tub technique. Thankfully, the tub was a few more ounces than we needed. So I should get, if I get the majority out, I'll know we have it mostly out. You can certainly use a brick of cream cheese. There we go. I will persuade the rest of it to come out. There we go. All right, so 8 ounces of cream cheese. One of my finer moments there, making do. And we need a cup of powdered sugar. Again, I'm using my half cup, so Leslie, the slight variation. That finished off that box nicely. I'm going to be wearing, it's a fun thing when you decide to wear black and gray on a day when you're playing with powdered sugar. Somebody wasn't thinking, that was me. All right, we need another tablespoon of vanilla extract. And this is where I'm varying a little bit. I wish I could say it was with great purpose. I swore we had some pancake syrup, some maple syrup here at the senior center. And this morning when I went to get it, it wasn't there. So I'm making a substitution. I don't have maple syrup, so I'm using a little caramel syrup to top ours off with. So you can certainly use, making it escape. So it's a tablespoon of maple syrup usually. Well, obviously I'm being a rebel and we're using caramel syrup. So whatever, I'm just going to say whatever kind of syrup you think would go well with your zucchini bread waffles. You can mix it up. You can try new things, right? All right. So we should, oh, I knew it wasn't looking thin enough. And there was another carton I hadn't opened. We're supposed to add half a cup of milk. I'm going to say right now, it just looks like frosting. There we go. Grab our half a cup back out here. All right, so this is where it gets to be a little bit more fun. You try to blend this together. Kind of wishing I had brought my hand mixer from home. That would make this easier. But just stir, 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 or pop it in your blender or your hand mixer to get your frosting. They do say if you find that it's lumpier than you would like, you can certainly strain out any cottage cheese. That's what it looks like right now. Cream cheese. You can strain out any extra lumpy cream cheesy bits. But I think I like the idea of popping it in my food mixer or the blender or using a hand electric hand mixer just to make sure that it gets smooth as possible and help work out any of those lumps. All right, so we've got this all but whisked together to a few lumpies, not too bad. So we're going to set that aside. And I'm going to go make these waffles. And of course, we're just going to, our iron, while we've been talking and preparing the batter, the waffle maker has been heating up in the back. You can just use a little non-stick spray or oil your waffle maker before you get started. And then go ahead and put a little bit of the mixture, kind of not quite center, just off to the inside a little bit of each square, or if you're round, depends on your waffle maker. And I will show you the finished product with our waffle maker in just a minute. All right, first batch of waffles has come off. Might keep them on there a few more minutes. Could be my waffle maker. It doesn't really seem to like to cook the centers as much. But we got a nice brown color on our waffles. They came off nice and crisp. So those are our beautiful waffles that we're going to be serving up to people for a snack around here today. And you can top it off with that lovely cream cheese and, well, in our case, caramel, but you could certainly use maple syrup. So that is what we're cooking here at the center today. You guys have a great rest of your day, and hopefully you can have a lovely little veggie breakfast here one of these mornings, or lunch or dinner. Waffles are good anytime. Try these zucchini bread waffles at your house. Enjoy.